welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and it's tryhard testing day. I've got a handful of tournaments coming up, including the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy Tournament, which will be over by the time you all see this video. But that's coming up imminently. I've played 2 leagues with Bug Beans, plus participated in a Discord tournament off camera with Bug Beans, and it's coming up just a little short of where I'd be really happy with it running in a tournament, which has kind of unmoored me into I gotta figure this out mode. Buffalo Chicken Dip will have just happened when you see this video. Steel City Spectacular is happening imminently when you see this video. That's also a big Legacy tournament. All those links are in my video descriptions. I've been talking about Thoughtseize and Nile Spellbomb ever since the No Changes ban update, as these are cards that I'm very interested in playing in my deck if I'm playing Legacy. Bug Beans gets both of them, and so does Dimir Tempo. Dimir Tempo, of course, forgoes the 3rd color and draw engine that Bug Beans plays in favor of simply killing your opponent faster. Nethergoyf is huge. Tamiyo is winning games left and right by itself. The additional texture of Tamiyo turning on Kaito is really cool in this deck. Normally a Tamiyo attack is not something that needs to be thought about much, but if Kaito could happen, you have to think about it really hard. Orcish Bowmaster, obviously just an excellent card, which its stock kind of dropped for a while because it's not that good versus Reanimator. Some Reanimator lists play it, some don't. But against anyone outside of Reanimator, this card is still quite good. You get access to basic lands in both colors, which insulates versus the Blood Moon and Wasteland strategies. You have your own Wastelands. This is just a rock-solid quintessential Legacy tempo deck. And whether I end up playing this in upcoming tournaments or not, I do want to recenter myself by just playing one of the tried and true permanent fixtures of Legacy, and then I'll continue my serious sweaty exploration beyond that. This is Dimir Tempo. Let's just play it. We're on the draw in round 1. We got a hello YouTube. Everyone say hello to Alanglois. I'm going to keep this hand. It survives a force check and provides a pushback, and if it's not a force check situation, then I can start pondering. Zenith for 0 off basic forest. Cradle Control, likely, maybe some mid-range Zenith Nadu deck. I think here I'm interested in getting the beats going. Ponder next turn grows the Nethergoyf. Ponder this turn, Nethergoyf still isn't in play yet. And I don't know what problem I need to solve yet. I suspect they're going to have some creature toolbox stuff. This could just be Maverick. But yeah, Taiga. This is not Cradle Control. Good chance this is just Maverick. I guess to the moon, get the fuck out of here. Okay, well, I could have fetched Basic Swamp to play around that. I am going to have to Force of Will this, because I'm not ready to play through it. Okay, that's why I didn't Ponder on turn 1, because I would have had no idea that that's something I need to think about. Ponder, Dazed Tamiyo, Wasteland. I could see arguments for all of these. I think I am going to bank the Tamiyo, though. That's a continuous draw engine moving forward. I get basic island to cast it. Okay, big beats coming. I don't like how I'm kind of out of gas here. I hate using Force of Will in fair matchups, but I was not ready for that. Bolting Tamiyo. Alright, she's dead. Nethergoyf's even bigger. The card Endurance kills me here, just outright. No real plan after that point. Zenith for 2. This could be some sort of Scavenging Ooze or Keen-Eyed Curator. Yep, there it is. This would be a great turn to find a Fatal Push, or else I'm in a lot of trouble. Ponder, fix everything. We'll be shuffling that 3 lands. Brainstorm. Keep looking, keep digging. Fatal Push, Fatal Push. Alright, well that sucks. Oy, oy, oy. I'm going to put back 2 of the lands. Attack with Nethergoyf. My opponent's going to have a 7/7 next turn, and my Nethergoyf's going to be a lot smaller. I will get the other Nethergoyf invested, though. I'll draw a Fatal Push eventually. I do play the full boat of them, and 2 Brazen Borrowers. They can exile up to 5 cards from my graveyard here. If they exile a Delirium's worth of cards, this becomes a 7/7 trample. Exiling Tamiyo shrinks my Goyfs. They do have to decide if they want to shrink Goyfs or grow Keen-Eyed Curator from here, though, because they have triple land, double instant, double sorcery. Okay, no attack, which means they want to use mana on something else. Let's find out what it is. Thought sees you. Exiling Force of Will in response. They could have Lightning Bolt, which might be interesting, because they can get the Goyfs to 2-3. Oh, just Zenith. All right, cool. So their hand is Bayou. I'm going to take out this Dryad Arbor while I can and give myself another turn to draw one of my many removal spells. I think if I find Fatal Push, I'm miles ahead, and if I don't, I'm miles behind, and that's kind of just all that's going on here. Kaito plays as well if I could lock down the Curator for a couple turns. There's no attack for me here. Their creature is already bigger and has the chance to be much bigger. We're just playing against Jund Magic cards. This is pretty cool. There's the Bayou we've seen. One unknown, fresh new card in the hand. I hope it's another Bayou. Oh no, mana's being spent. A lot of mana's being spent. Did you rip another Zenith? Chill! Chill on that shit. A Zenith for 3. Yeah, Endurance makes a ton of sense. That makes my Nethergoyf into complete wuss babies. They can exile a land from their own graveyard to get the Curator trampled. Oh, okay. Did not calculate that correctly. There was already a creature gone. Unfortunately, I'm not able to punish at all. I could Bowmaster my own Bowmaster and make Nethergoyf 1-2, but that doesn't do anything. Doesn't push through. Fetch land, probably good news for me. I think my opponent's playing way too cautiously here. If they just made a 7/7 3 turns ago, I'd be dead already. Ooh, now they got shit to deal with. If I YOLO smash everything in, they block my 2 Nethergoyfs, they die. I Kaito, then Kaito dies to Endurance on the backswing. I do have Force Blue card now, and if I drop another Bowmaster in their end step, I have 3 creatures that I don't really care about dying, and then the Nethergoyfs will still be able to block. Kept a card on top, hate that. Once upon a time, alright, cool. Show me a land. Or a whiff, I'll take that too. I need something to go my way. Fury smokes. Alright, well. Yikes. End step Bowmaster. Deal 1 to you. Blue card would be a great draw here. Dang. Alright. Keen-Eyed Curator, even if it's stunned, still works. Yeah, knowing Fury's in hand, I just have to hold up this Force of Will. I don't think I can afford to Kaito. What if I do? I can just cast Kaito. My opponent has not lost life this turn, so the Surveil will not get me a draw. If I attack with the Bowmasters of the Orc Army, they'll block the Bowmasters. I lose the Orc Army. Yeah, I'm just hard-locked by this Raccoon. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have to force this. If they go 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, I can fetch, but then they can exile it. Yeah, that just doesn't work. Keen-Eyed Curator is busted. Orcish Lumberjack. Oh, we're jacking it. Interesting. They've also tapped out, which means this turn they can't curate my museum. All right, big turn, Surveil land coming. Come on, Fatal Push. Give me the juice. Flooded Strand to the graveyard. Real card, good card, good card. Oh my god. All right, my window came and went. Now we're back to holding the fort. I feel like I've looked at every card in my deck except for the 7 removal spells. What if Foothills? I'm not sure why I'm not just dead to this Keen-Eyed Curator, though. All of this is borrowed time. It's all a gift. Brainstorm. Oh my god. All right. Daze and Polluted Delta can go back. I believe in Brazen Borrower. Push the Keen-Eyed Curator. Will exile my graveyard on its way out here. I'll end up with 1/1 Nethergoyfs, or 1/2 Nethergoyfs. It becomes a 7/7 in its last moment on Earth. Okay, that thing's dead. Now we can start pushing back. We know their deck's full of terrifying cards if they're playing Orcish Lumberjack. This is a Black Lotus every turn if they have big things to cast with it. Magus of the Moon. Well, I cannot beat that, so I have my basics. Yeah, it resolves. They'll just cast it again if I bounce it. I guess Brazen Borrower is not going to be a creature, and that also means I'm drawing this Polluted Delta and then this Daze that I was hoping to shuffle away. Not ideal. Oh, I can bounce Magus in their end step, shuffle, and play Brazen Borrow. Okay, no, I actually do have a good plan here. Don't do stuff. Fury, stop! All right, hopefully they put all the damage on Nethergoyf, because I can't actually navigate that. Like, if they just go 2-2, I can bounce Magus, fetch, nothing dies. They could just put all 4 over here, though, and I can't manipulate that. All right, they took the safe route. Boring. That does make my Nethergoyfs bigger, but it actually kills things. If they attack here, though, they're getting blown out. Yeah, they're being just super careful. I'm going to bounce Magus in the end step and get this fetch. Don't want to draw Daze when Orcish Lumberjack is involved. Brazen Borrower, get in. I have 2 3/4s. You shuffle and you get nothing. Okay, there's still no attacks, but we're chilling. Maybe they'll tap out for a Greenstone Zenith for 12. I do have bigger creatures than they do. I'm just going to double block this Fury. There is a card in their hand. If it's a Lightning Bolt or something, they can finish off my squad, but right now I'm just trading a Goyf for a Fury. And they did have the Lightning Bolt. There is already an instant in my graveyard. Nothing I can do to save this. Alright, I feel like they're over the hump now. Tamiyo. I cannot cast Nethergoyf. I don't have the cards in my graveyard. We're still casting spells. And we're jacking spells. What are you casting that needs Lumberjack? There's so much mana in play already. Tap all the way out. Tap all the way out. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, tap the Taiga. Don't stop. All right, I think we're going to see the top end of their Zenith chain, whether this is a... Oh, Moloch. All right, sure. I'm dead to that too. All right, so this game was defined by Keen-Eyed Curator and not seeing a removal spell in like 18 looks. Children's Edict, Barrowgoyf coming in. Blue Elemental Blast coming in. Cards I think are worse. How about Daze versus their deck with Black Lotus in it? Nile Spellbomb did not appear to do anything. Thoughtseize is good early and bad late. I think I'm going to move off of a Thoughtseize. I like Force of Will. I like all my removal and threats. Let's do it. And now I know they're a Blood Moon deck. I can play around that a little better. Okay, access to all of my basics. Removal, powerful stuff. Oh no, it doesn't fetch Swamp. Alright, I don't have access to all my basics. Just one of them. It's fine, I can answer a Blood Moon. With the Hydroblast, the Blue Blast. Cards are largely interchangeable in the present day format. Hydroblast is technically air quotes better though, in most situations. Lightning Bolt. Yep, that's fine. We can expect to trade things off, it's not a huge deal. Right, here I can Brainstorm Shuffle or access my basic Swamp. Or both. Orcish Lumberjack is a pretty big liability against me. I think here I'm just going to get the Surveil land. I can answer Blood Moon, so what am I worried about? I have multiple answers to Blood Moon even. Alright, I don't think my opponent's deck draws cards, so I'm going to get Bowmaster in. They might have their own Bowmasters, good chance of it. They're a Jund deck. There's the basic Swamp, if I'm interested in that. I think I'd rather Brainstorm. And I can kill their Bowmaster if they play one, so Brainstorm it is. No Shuffle. That's tough. They've been fetching basics. I'm going to put back Wasteland and Swamp, and then play Wasteland. If they fetch a Surveil land in the end step, I'll pick it off. This Wasteland can also turn on Fatal Push. A Forest, okay. Grist. Okay, I can make them sacrifice a Planeswalker. They milled over their Moloch. Each opponent sacrifices a Planeswalker of their choice. You must choose. I think pushing damage is more important than not pushing damage. I don't really want to trade for a bug here, but it's what we got, and I'm in a Brainstorm lock, so I just gotta make something happen. Oh yeah, I should Wasteland them before they can use this Bayou. Oh, I did just give them a chance to untap. Okay, they're playing Gruul, Mono Gruul, and my Fatal Push is on because of my missequence with Wasteland. Zenith for 2. Alright, I'll push whatever this is. It's probably Curator again. It is. This can exile my Nethergoyf forever. I'm not particularly close to escaping it, but it sucks that it's gone. Oh, they went after Brainstorm instead. Okay, cool. My Nethergoyf lives on. Saying there's a chance. Alright, I'll continue to lay Fatal Push online. I get to draw a real card next turn, or at least a new card. Whether it's real or not remains to be seen. Zenith for 3. All right, I hope they don't have another Grist. Can't really beat that card here. Eternal Witness, what the hell? Oh my god. Opponent is in the lab. All right, they've bought back Grist. They're not showing me black mana right now. But if they find black mana, I'm in trouble. I don't even want to Fatal Push this thing. Ponder, oh my goodness. This turns on my Nethergoyf and lets me do stuff, maybe. Both of which I'm preferable to. Okay. I like Kaito. I like Murktide. Okay, no shuffle. I'm going to attack, see if they block. The trade's there, so they've not taken damage. I could deploy Nethergoyf here and Wasteland them. With Murktide on top of my deck, do I even want to do that? Pyroblast is a card that they haven't had a lot of chances to use and might be in their hand. Alright, Nethergoyf will die to Bolt if I escape it. I think I should have Nethergoyf in play. Instant, sorcery, creature, or land. I've got a 2-3, and I decided to leave up Push or Blue Blast rather than Wasteland them. Because they just bought back a black card from their graveyard. I could Hydroblast a blue card, or a red card if they play it. This line also isn't just completely pants down to Pyroblast. Lightning Bolt. I guess I can accept that. I could counter it with Blue Blast. Alright, I actually am going to counter this with Blue Blast, because having pressure on the Grist is really nice. Okay, there's the access to black, but they're protecting it. They might not have a, or they can't fetch Basic Swamp, whether they have it or not. Irrelevant. Nethergoyf's getting in. No blocks means Kaito's happening. Kablooey. It's big Kaito time. Kaito o'clock. I'm going to draw some cards. I don't want this land. I will take this Brazen Borrower. And I'm going to redeploy Goyf to keep the pressure up. If their Black Source is a Surveil land, they might have to try it now. Okay, they're still playing Mono Gruul. Kept a card on top. Hate that. Dryad Arbor. That dies to everything. Doesn't cast Grist. Okay. Pyroblast confirmed. At least I drew a card off that. Another Goyf. I could Wasteland the Dryad Arbor and get to work. I could... Do I think having Wasteland for their Black Source or Fatal Push for whatever else they do is more important? I think I'll take the Wasteland now, because that also plays around Veil of Summer. In for 3. Murktide affects my Nethergoyfs negatively, and I have another 3-power creature. Grist is in their hand with 2 unknowns. It has to be Black Source to even care about Grist. Lightning Bolt doesn't matter. Pyroblast doesn't matter. Taiga. Okay, so they have 1 card in their hand. That could be useful. Fury. Okay. I win the game. Or, nope. I have to... What do I have to do? Nethergoyf dies. I have to attack them twice. I don't quite win yet. Play Brazen Borrower in face-up attack position. Ponder. I'm going to look for an answer to Fury. If I can clear this and win, that's great. Thoughtseize is interesting. That strips the Grist and puts them back in top deck mode. Alright, I'm going to Thoughtseize and Murktide. Goyf is 5-6. That almost survives Fury. We're so close, team. Would I rather trade Goyf for Fury and leave them with nothing, or have a creature that tangles with Fury on the board? I know all my next draws, so I'm just going to Thoughtseize their Grist. Attack with my creatures. If they draw something like Minskin Boo, Fury not being in play is something they can't throw at me. And then big Schmirks. Thoughtseize, Blue Blast, Shouldred's Edict, Ponder, Wasteland. They have to kill 2 creatures. They're both lethal. 2 creatures with 1 draw, and they're missing a color. Minskin Boo. That's the card I said. So they can throw Boo at Brazen Borrower, kill it, and if they draw a Pyroblast, they're actually not only stable, but winning. Alright, I hope that last card's a blank. Don't spend mana. Oh my god. Alright, so they got a blocker. Okay, I can win here. I can Bowmaster, deal 1 to itself, Fatal Push, GG. I'm probably also in good shape that game if I ping Minskin Boo, force the block, but why not take a win when it's there? Okay, that was a sweet back and forth game. They are a deck that is horrifically good against what I'm trying to do. This is pretty annoying. but they are clunky and don't have a lot of card selection if I can stay ahead or deal with their things like Keen-Eye Curator and Grist as they appear. Having seen Nile or Eternal Witness, I have thoughts about Nile Spellbomb. Probably not interested. On the draw, Thoughtseize is a little better. It's something that can interact on turn 1 with something that I need to think about on turn 2 or 3. It's a terrible top deck, though, where Force of Will is a good one if the game grinds out to nonsense mode. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay with the deck that I presented. No changes. Let's go. All right, I like the hand. Removal, one of my basics. Not the important one, but it is one. Force of Will. Verdant Catacombs. Basic Forest. Zenith for 0. Here goes this again. Alright, well, that card's good against Dryad Arbor. I'll keep the land on top because I do just want more of them. I would have just pushed the Dryad Arbor if this was any land other than Undercity Sewers, but I think curving out is pretty important here. Oh yeah, the Dryad Arbor attack. Look that to my veins. I'm gonna pass here, and alright, I'll go in their upkeep. This way, if they Veil of Summer, it's going to cost them a mana on their own turn. However, that also means I can't Force of Will them on this turn. Black does appear to be a splash color. Do they even have a swamp to get? No, or they're not interested in that. Also possible. Moloch enters and kills my Bowmaster. That's fine. This is just a 2-2 after this point. We've basically just both necrotalled each other's early plays. I'm going to play Underground Sea and Tamiyo here. I don't want to use my fetch yet, because I might Brazen Borrow something this turn, and I want to save my fetch for maximum card selection. Moloch X equals 1. Fights up to 1 target creature. Okay, so I can push this before we fight. I'd also bounce it before we fight. How do I want to use my mana here? I think I want to Petty Theft it. If it's not in play, it doesn't fight. That's how fights work. You can't punch if you're not there. However, if it would die, exile instead still happens. That's funny. I went with the Petty Theft there because the Fatal Push will work on any turn, and it's just more mana efficient to hold it this way. Clue token, eat it. Bloodstained Mire, ponder. They did not respond. I could play another Tamiyo as a blocker, or keep Children's Edict in my hand, or leave Fatal Push up. Right, I think I want Edict in my hand. Don't shuffle, flip Tamiyo, plus, and I'll keep this Fatal Push available to me. What I'm worried about this game, if they get to a spot to, like Thoughtseize or Veil of Summer or Pyroblast to protect the Minskin Boo. Though Children's Edict can clear that. I can Edict a Grist as well. Right. An even bigger Moloch. This is what the Fatal Push was saved for. Do I care if this Orc army dies? I guess is another fair question. If I'm gonna push anyway, the top of my deck is another Tamiyo. I don't actually want that, so yeah, I will actually push this thing now. Alright, it's dead. Can't fight. Tamiyo's gonna get attacked for 1. I am making forward progress. I could jump block to leave Tamiyo on 4, but that's not important to me right now. Plus Tamiyo, hold up Hardcast Force of Will. I think I want to play out Wasteland, because that might be useful someday. I should have attacked. I'm not going to block. I was busy narrating. I'm using Wasteland here because if I brainstorm away a land, I would prefer to brainstorm away this Underground Sea. I am telegraphing Force of Will, though, by doing it this way. But to that, I ask, what are you going to do about it? Okay, here's the moment I was afraid of. Do they have the Pyroblast to back this up? If they do, I got some work to do. Alright, that's awesome. Alright, Minskin Boo in the graveyard. That's where I want that one. Plus Tamiyo. Here I will ponder. Another Force. Do I want that? I think I do. Force Brainstorm Borrower. Put the Force in my hand now. I'm not going to shuffle because the top of my deck's great. I forgot to attack again. You're at 16. Go. Moloch's getting a taste of Tamiyo again. Losing the fight, but keeps fighting it. The flavor of Moloch losing a fight makes me very happy. Okay, it's Brazen Borrower time. This does leave a window where I don't have Force up if they have Pyroblast, but I think that's the only card I care about. All right, we're in there, uncontested, unbothered, in my lane, moisturized. Ooh, upkeep, something's happening. Endurance. Does that bother me? A little. All right, I'm gonna Force of Will this. Drawing Brazen Borrower. Or no, I drew Brainstorm. Brazen Borrower's under it. Right. Okay, so here I can minus Tamiyo and bank Force of Will if I want to. And then chump block Mawlock, Tamiyo goes to 1. I think I like this. Attack with Brazen Borrower because it can't block anyway. Or this own, does this always have trample? Does it ever have trample? Oh, it doesn't have trample at all. Okay, sweet. Then Tamiyo stays at 2. Unless they have a removal spell, then Tamiyo's dead. But she's already been worth like 10 damage and 2 cards. Waste them off black. I'm saving the fetch land. Ooh, dead. Alright. Orc Army's dead, so is Tamiyo. That's okay. I'm winning the race, and I have more resources. Maybe I'm supposed to play Scalding Tarn here. If they play any card other than Magus of the Moon, I don't care. If they play Magus of the Moon here, I'm going to wish I had played my Scalding Tarn. Zenith for 2. This is going to be the Exile Jerk. 7/7's really big, but this is not Force of Will for me. I have the Brazen Bar on top of my deck. I guess they could get another Mawlock here if they play 3. That's a lot of Mawlocks. But the fight's a draw this time. The last 2 Mawlocks they play were straight up Necrotal. Ignoble Hierarch, fascinating. Okay. There was no Tamiyo plus bubble, so the Mawlock would have killed that on its own, unless they're just desperately trying to fix black mana here. Okay, the patience on this Brainstorm finally rewarded. I don't think I want Wasteland. I do want access to basic blue. Attack with Brazen Borrower. I could just unload here. I think I want to. I can pitch cast Force if I need to, and I can bounce or remove certain types of things. The One Ring. That wasn't on my radar. I don't really want to play against it. Okay, you got me. You found something that I couldn't bounce easily. Ugh, the Pyroblast, brutal. Alright. Well, there's that one. That's happening. I think I have to save Shoulder's Edict for a Planeswalker. I just don't care about these creatures. Fetch away this pile of lands. Bowmaster. That's nasty against the One Ring. Let's get him. Okay, upkeep. You go to 10. Tap the ring. Bowmaster. Kill Ignoble Hierarch. We're definitely doing that. Floating green on the way through. I think I should go face rather than kill Mawlock. Though, I do also have Shoulder's Edict in my hand. No, I'm going to make sure my Edict can kill anything I need it to here. I can attack them for plenty without this burn damage. Endurance makes Nethergoyf a wuss. They are still... Alright, they're no longer dead. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Sacrifice the big one before the little one comes in. This blocker means they're not dead. Ooh, Lightning Bolt, slick. Alright, that's gone. Nethergoyf. There's always more Nethergoyfs. 6. If they block Bowmaster, they go to 6, which go to 2. I think I'd rather have the Bowmaster in play and make sure they just can't tap the ring. Alright, well, I am all in here. They decided not to chump block with Lumberjack, which means they're valuing having a Black Lotus worth of mana over some more life. Okay, going out like a boss. They could be digging for Veil of Summer, but we got the GGs in the chat. Yeah, if they ring into Veil of Summer there, more things could happen. Wow, what a slugfest. Off-meta deck, probably pretty structurally favored versus what I'm doing, and we were able to just navigate it with solid play. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2, Undercity Sewers, making this hand not as good as it could be. I am going to keep, though. I can still daze here. The sewer gives me 2 looks at land before I'm in trouble. And I really like the card Thoughtseize. And this is exactly the moment. Occasionally, especially in low to the ground, low land count decks, I don't include a Surveil land, and that's on purpose. Like the Is It Delver decks right now don't play that at all. Like they don't have a Thundering Falls. And I occasionally get a comment that's like, 1 Surveil land's pretty free. It's not free. Look at the costs. This is what happens when it's not free. My opponent said no thanks in the chat. I wonder if they think I'm on Reanimator. It's not Reanimator, it's the other annoying Underground Sea deck. Give me some credit here. Bloodstained Mire, okay. Lotus Petal. Alright, so this is some sort of Turbo Reanimator or Storm deck. Storm is more popular than Turbo Reanimator, though neither one is particularly popular right now. Either way, it's a deck I would have loved to cast Thoughtseize on turn 1 against. Thoughtseize, alright. Well, they're going to see 2 pair plus daze. If they can strip the daze and then combo off here somehow, they got me. If they can't do those things, I'm going to Thoughtseize them back immediately. For the record, I do think it's correct to have 1 Undercity Sewers in Dimir because it's a little slower than Is It. And I do think it's incorrect to have 1 in Is It. We just ran into the example where it is not free to include 1 of these. Right, the daze is gone. What's happening to me here? It looks like nothing. I'm going to Thoughtseize them before I play my land. I don't want this information to be 100%. Oh, it is Turbo Reanimator. Fun. Oh, they couldn't do everything. They were 1 black card short. The mulligan got them. All right, I'm taking your Shallow Grave. And... or maybe I was supposed to take Unmask because I have Nile Spellbomb in my hand. That was loose. All right, Shallow Grave's gone. Underground Sea. Nile Spellbomb. Yeah, I should have taken Unmask if this is what I was going to do. Whoops. Yeah, if they didn't Thoughtseize me, they could have jammed it. Okay, yeah, if they had just unmasked themselves pitching Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Shallow Grave, Grizzlebrand would be in play. And they said, yeah, I should have jammed it. Yeah. Well, risky. All right, now my sideboard stuff comes in. Children's Edict, probably not good enough. If they're a Shallow Grave Reanimator, this might be actual Tin Fins, like a deck that wins immediately. Fatal Push, probably not where I want to be. They might have a creature juke, but I can't afford to respect it. Children's Edict still respects the creature juke. I think that's fine. Bowmaster, pretty good against Grizzlebrand. Kaito's blue. I'm probably not going to wasteland them. I can afford to cut 1 of those. I'm not cutting any blue card. Nethergoyf hits like a truck, but I do have to spend mana on my turn. Bowmaster may or may not affect their deck at all, but I get to play it as an instant. I think I'd rather have Nethergoyf than Bowmaster between the 2. Let's do it. Force blue card. Sold. While my opponent is not on the traditional blue-black top of the format Reanimator deck, the appeal of Dimir Tempo, the Thoughtseize, Nile Spellbomb, like those are literally the cards I named in the deck that are the appeal to me playing this. And my hand last game that won the game was double Thoughtseize, double Nile Spellbomb. Count it. Okay, I drew a replacement blue card. I can ponder with impunity. Another force. Yes, I'll take it. I would prefer Fairy Macabre or Nile Spellbomb or Thoughtseize to another force here, but I'm not going to say no. They're just hitting their land drops. They are on a mulligan to 5 over there. Not firing on all cylinders, is safe to say. Ponder. I'm going to save my shuffle for after the Ponder, even though I know I have to look at a land here. Fairy Macabre, Nethergoyf. Okay. Here is why I left Nethergoyf in the deck, because it can bash. I think what I'm going to do is tuck the Macabre in my hand now, play my land, and pass with the intent of not shuffling, drawing Nethergoyf and starting to apply pressure next turn. A 2-3 in play provides infinitely more pressure than no creature at all. Ooh, we might have a Witherbloom command, or Witherbloom Apprentice juke. Green mana, fascinating. Luckily, I'm ready to fight that too, but it might be over there. And me without any fatal pushes in my deck. Okay, they're passing. I'm not fetching. Oh, we stopped in the second main. Do you have a spell after all? Unmask who's this targeting. That actually does matter in this matchup. It's targeting me. I'm going to force that with negation. All right, Nethergoyf, slam it. I can add Bowmaster's pressure if they don't do anything, and I'm single protected against any sort of combo and double protected versus their graveyard combo. Underground, or the Underground Sea that surveils. Thoughtseize. All right, my thoughts are seized. I'm not going to respond to this. If they take Force of Will, my shields are actually down to Witherbloom combo. If they're not able to combo off through either of these, then they might take Bowmaster to buy time. Okay, here I actually think that getting the Surveil land to try to re-up is more important than adding a few points of pressure to the board. I don't want another Nethergoyf. I want a blue card or a Thoughtseize. Shit. I'm not going to play this land because I want them wondering if I drew a blue card. But they're running out of life points to play around it. Here it's Bowmaster time. This takes a turn off the clock and otherwise doesn't do anything. Come on, deck. Blue card or Thoughtseize. Blue card or Thoughtseize. Shit. If I had played my land last turn, I would have Force of Will up right now. I will play a land now. I mean, the game's not going to go another turn. Probably didn't need to do that. If they have Thoughtseize, Entomb Reanimate, or Witherbloom Command Send, they could take it here. We got the GG in the chat, though. All right, I guess they just couldn't get through the Macabre. All right, on to the next round. Feels good to beat Reanimator.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3. My hand is just really well-rounded and great. I'm going to keep it, though the back of my brain, the lizard part of my brain, is tickling that this is a Reanimator player, though I don't recognize their name specifically or have any reason to believe that. That is the Spidey sense that kicked in there. Future Magic card, Spidey sense, by the way. All right, Thoughtseize, let's find out if I'm just making that shit up or if there is some truth to it. All right, yeah, completely nonsense. Okay, 2 forces, a plow, a stifle, and a null drifter. The stifle is actually kind of annoying to me. I will take that. Okay, passing the turn. Maybe there's someone else with a Zagama avatar that does play Reanimator, or maybe this person has played it before. I have no idea. There's the archive. We know their hand is full of answers. It's a little bit challenging. Blue to Delta. I think I'd like to cast Brainstorm and Nethergoyf this turn. Wasteland looks pretty good. Kaito is mid. It's a lot of Bowmasters. Do I need this many? All right, Kaito's going back. And Blue to Delta's going back. Fetch, please don't have top decked another Stifle. You asshole. You absolute maniac. Okay, is this worth a force to me? I think it is. I'll force pitching Brazen Borrower. I know they could force back. This actually isn't that devastating. Okay, that's fine. Force pitching force was used, so their hand is Plow and Nethergoyf. Or Null Drifter, the other Modern Horizons 3 card that starts with N. Okay, that's fine. Sick draw, though. Now I will do what I wanted to do anyway. Wasteland your Tundra. Play Nethergoyf, which will probably draw out the Plow, and then I can start mastering their bows after that. That's fine. But knowing that they have a 3-drop in their hand and being able to attack them down to 1 land is nice. Tamiyo. Card's obviously good. Okay, here I'm going to fetch before I can get stifled. And pass. Tamiyo beats. End step Bowmaster. Start pushing back. Another Plow. But they've been missing land drops, so we know they have spells. That's fine. A land is gnarly here. Hit with Kaito, lock down Tamiyo. Dash forever. Attack. No blocks, you know what's coming. Maybe I don't lock down Tamiyo. They don't even have lands to do anything here. I think I'm going to surveil and draw my own Tamiyo. Island to the graveyard. I'll take the Tamiyo. That lets me spend all my mana next turn. That sounds okay. Ninjutsu is dangerous against a Stifle deck because that is an activated ability. And part of the cost is returning the creature to your hand. So you have to spend the mana and bounce the creature, and then they can stifle Ninjutsu. Ponder, okay. If they had found exactly Brainstorm right there, that would have been frustrating. Kaito can apply a lot of pressure to Tamiyo, so it's not like we're on an empty board here. I think I want to keep surveilling because finding a wasteland is just lights out. Surveil to Thoughtseize Nethergoyf. Okay, do I want both of these? I wish I had drawn this Nethergoyf instead of this Tamiyo, but we're here. It's fine. I'm going to go top. We got a Kaito too strong in the chat. I don't disagree. Kaito's very good. Thoughtseize. What are we working with? Thrall, Dreadnought, Null Drifter. I'll take the Thrall. So that's the enabler. And I'm just going to stick Bowmaster right now while I know it's going to work. All right, packed it up to the big Kaito. All right, we're playing into Blue-White Dreadnought, a Stifle build, not a Ancient Tomb build. Consign to Memory hits their namesake cards. The Dreadnoughts and the Null Drifters all get consigned. Barrowgoyf is just juicy. Shouldred, Edict killing big stuff. Nile Spellbomb can come out. I still like Thoughtseize a lot. I like Nethergoyf just fine. Fatal Push is great. Bowmaster's good. I think I'm less interested in Force of Will. I have to be careful of Stifle. I hate respecting Stifle. The card's annoying. It's not good. The people who Stifle rarely win games, but it is annoying. I could shave a Wasteland. They can play on low resources. Yeah, maybe I'll just go one Force of Will. Bringing in better answers than that. And a bunch of stuff in their deck is just colded by Fatal Push. Nice hand. Keep it. I can kill a Thrall. I can kill a Dreadnought. I can play around Stifle for a long time. Opponent's on a mull to 6. Basic Island Ponder. I think I'm just going to fetch Undercity Sewer. Unless I draw Ponder or Thoughtseize, I'm just going to fetch Sewer in my main phase. Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. Sweet. Sewer. Brazen Borrower. Also excellent versus their deck. I'll keep it. This deck could have their own Wastelands. Just going to hope they don't. I think rather than hang the Wasteland out here and punish them for fetching Meticulous Archive, I want to let them fetch it and then punish them later. If they go for Doorkeeper Thrall now, I can push it with Daze Protection. Basic Plains. Thrall resolves. I'm going to push it now before they untap. I don't want to get into a fight over their turn. The dream, of course, is letting them commit Dreadnought to the stack, then killing the Thrall, then Dreadnought dies too. But letting them untap and having other interactive pressure points for me, not what I want to be doing. All right, Wasteland. I'm going to waste on their upkeep. So if they stifle the Wasteland, it costs them mana on their own turn to do. This also passively turns on Revolt on Fatal Push, which does not matter, and I don't have, but they can think about it. I'm going to play Bowmaster here. I'm trying to convert into Kaito. Making my big push. This is 2 creatures, so Plow doesn't even break it up. Thoughtseize. Daze can beat Ambush Thrall, so I'm just going to attack. No blocks. Kaito, do you have the Stifle? I picked up the real creature just in case this gets stifled. We got an LOL. Yeah, Kaito's real good. One of the core pieces of this deck. I'm going to draw some cards. I like both of these. I'm going to top, bank the Daze now, have a additional pressure next turn. Dress down. I'm just going to Daze that. I don't want anything that this could turn on to happen. Another Daze. Shit, what am I going to do? Another one. Tempo Gaming. Decks with 4 Daze in them. Or do I have 4? Did I lie? Is there 3? Yeah, there's 3. Alright, decks with a lot of Dazes in them. Pretty good. Pillar of the format. We got Kaito double Daze, Godlike in the chat. I'm not sure if they're salting off or just banter. Unclear. I don't know. This is what my deck does. What do you want from me? It's turn 5. Where's your Dreadnought, bruh? If you were worried about it, should have dealt with it faster. Alright, Thoughtseize you. Show me 4 Dreadnoughts. Ah, suck a butt. All right, I'll take the Null Drifter. Hand is horrendous over there. Does it change the clock to buff Kaito, or should I draw cards? Goyf is 3-4. This is 4. Next turn, it's 7. If I plus Kaito now, and next turn, it'll be 5 plus 8. Yeah, this actually does change the clock. All right, I'm going to make my ninjas bigger. Another Goyf. Left exactly lethal on the board versus their hand of 3 blanks. Ponder. All right, Swords to Plowshares could buy them some time. I don't know how they could ever win this game, though. Like, what series of run goods? Like, because Kaito is just such a problem. Even if the top 3 cards, if this Ponder just sees 3 plows right now, they're still dead. Took a shuffle. We did it. Okay. Yeah, picking apart decks that require multiple things to go right is exactly what Thoughtseize Days Wasteland decks are good at doing. And we saw that there. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/TheResleevables. I'm on the draw in round 4. My hand is excellent in any kind of tempo mirror, and obviously just dead if they're combo. But I'm not going to mulligan a hand like this in the blind. Ancient Tomb. I don't love a Chalice of the Void here either. Defense Grid. Okay, so this is probably Mystic Forge combo. Wasteland and Thoughtseize are my good draws here. Brainstorm. I will think about Brainstorm later. I'm going to get on board with this plunky little Nethergoyf right now. I can Brainstorm plus Fetch next turn, which gives me 2 points on the Nethergoyf immediately. Fleshraker is in there. I can push that. I hope it doesn't do too much yet. I'd still love to draw Wasteland right now. Oh, baby! All right. This is actually close. Do I want them having less mana overall, which means wasting Ancient Tomb, or do I want them taking damage every time they tap their land, which is wasting Urza Saga? I think less overall is where I want to be. Wasteland you, this turns on Fatal Push. Goyf gets in for 2. Just will those cards to the top of your deck. They'll show up. They got 4 cards in hand over there, showing 1 mana right now. Urza's Workshop taps for 1. They don't have Metalcraft. Another Defense Grid, working their way towards Metalcraft at least. That's a start. Okay, I'm very interested in Thoughtseize this turn, even at the expense of Orcish Bowmaster. All right, no love. I'll put back land. Basic Swamp and one of the Ponders I think can go. And then I'm going to Ponder pre-combat because that grows Nethergoyf. Days, a bunch of garbage. I'm going to shuffle this away. Nile Spellbomb, also garbage, but at least it grows Nethergoyf. Okay, shields are down. Scared. Saga tutors, but can't make a construct. See, a Key or a Candelabra are cards that could pop out of this. I guess Mox Opal if they play one. A Lotus Petal. Yeah, Mox Opal, sure. But they have 3 mana temporarily, but that is otherwise a wash. They're down 1 permanent mana source, up 1 permanent mana source. I'll take a Key. A Grim Monolith could break this game open. Yeah, that didn't happen. More looks at Thoughtseize. Come on, deck. We play a lot of them. This is what they're for. Okay, Brainstorm. There we go. Thoughtseize showing up right when it's needed. Fatal Push. Or Bowmaster Fatal Push? Fatal Push Bowmaster. What order do I want these in? I think Bowmaster Fatal Push. Okay, Thoughtseize you. The One Ring and Ugin. They're really far away from Ugin. Took the One Ring. And I'm going to Nile Spellbomb them just for an extra card type in my graveyard. This game's not going to go long enough that I need to draw a card off of that. Ancient Tomb. That's 4 mana. We're good. They have double defense grid, which means the cards I want to cast I have to do on my turn. Goyf. And this Bowmaster ping means they can't tap that Ancient Tomb. Does Grim Monolith do it here? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not without the Ancient Tomb. Yeah, Ancient Tomb. Tap it. Go out like a boss. Go out on your own terms. Don't let me do this. Just the concede button. It's actually faster to tap Ancient Tomb. Okay, Null Rod. Consign to memory. Force of Negation. Harbinger of the Seas is an option. Let's see how this maps out. It's not, like, thrilling, but it is... If I could have this card in play or not have it in play, I would choose to have it in play. But it has to be better than cards I'm cutting. Idle Spell Bombs are out. Thanks for the 2 extra damage. Some number of Fatal Push come out. Being able to deal with Fleshraker without a counterspell is huge, but it doesn't do anything otherwise. I like all my blue cards. I don't really need basic lands. Oh, unless I'm bringing in Harbinger, which it doesn't look like I am. I'm running out of room already. I could cut basic Swamp and play it like that, though I really like to cast my Thoughtseizes early and often if I have them. It might be a Bowmaster I shave. This card's good versus the One Ring, but otherwise mostly irrel. Alright, this is what I'm doing. Disciplined, stop, no room for the Harbingers. Ooh. There are hands that this deck could come up with where double Wasteland makes it so they never cast a spell, but I'm not going to keep this knowing what the matchup is. I will keep the crap out of this. I'm going to bottom the Fatal Push. Opponent's on 6. Grim Monolith is in. Glaring Fleshraker. Oh, my Fatal Push to the bottom. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Hate wasting this on this, but also I don't want to play against that card. If I draw a blue card, we're still okay. Yeah, alright. We're gaming. By the skin of our ass, but we're gaming. I will force a negation a key if they play one here. I think cutting mana off long term is worth it. Yep, there it is. That might be too aggressive, but it feels right at the moment, given that they have 2 cards in hand. Bad news. This attack for 1 is not going to get the game over. This is not even going to hold up through this turn now that they have constructs available. Because of the Monolith, even if I draw a land here, Bowmaster doesn't deal with it. I don't think this game is remotely winnable. Yeah, I'm actually just going to concede. Or, I guess I will see if they make constructs. If they just make 2 constructs, I'll concede. But what if their hand is nothing, and I draw, like, Brazen Borrower? Brazen Borrower doesn't help. I need Ponder. Yeah, this just ran out of gas quick. Force checking me twice that early just left me with nothing to do. And then they could tutor a key here, unlock their mana, which I tried to turn off. 2 workshops, they each tap for 2. Monolith, they have 6 mana here. Alright, we're dead. Well, that turned quickly. I really liked my opening hand, and then I suddenly didn't have any cards left. I don't think Barrowgoyf is what I want. Is Barrowgoyf better than Orcish Bowmaster? I don't think so. Is Barrowgoyf better than Kaito? I also don't think so because I'm supporting 6 forces. I have 2 pushes, 2 borrowers that could deal with constructs, plus my 4 wastelands to stop them from showing up in the first place. Yeah, I think this is still the deck. Oh, hell yeah. Keep. I see Null Rod. I smash the button. Okay, I think I want to ponder and look for a protective layer. I'm going to shuffle this. That was a bunch of stuff that was not Force of Will. The thing about Null Rod is it's just so good that if it manages the game for me, I don't need anything else. I just need to survive this turn. Urza's Workshop is good news. That usually doesn't tap for 2 this quickly. Manifold Key. Okay, it looks like I'll get to jam my Null Rod on time without being dead. Rod. Saga. I mean, that's how I can still lose here. Come on, Wasteland. Fatal Push. Alright, that helps. I'm gonna brainstorm first. See if I come up with Wasteland. Yeah, alright. I'll put Fatal Push on top. I'm gonna Wasteland the Urza's Workshop. I'm going for maximum squeeze misery here. If they jam an Ancient Tomb and start cranking out constructs, now knowing that I have double Fatal Push ready to deal with those, I don't even mind. Planar Nexus. So there's not going to be any constructs coming out of this tube. Defense Grid, just going to have to ignore that. And now I'm going to sewer away the other Fatal Push, knowing that there's no constructs coming. Nethergoyf, get a taste. Orcish Bowmaster, main phase, because there's no other time to do it. And next turn, I can start holding up Force of Will, because I'll have 3 to pay for Defense Grid. You do get over the roof on that eventually. Soul Guide Lantern. That could change the size of Nethergoyf. I assume there's something that's, yeah, Ponder. They can make Nethergoyf smaller. They found the target. Okay, Kozilek's Command, Ugin, Karn. These are cards that might still affect the game. If they have access to Portable Hole, because they do have Planar Nexus, which is their color filtering land. If I get to a spot where I'm untapping, holding up Force of Will, I'm just going to keep that up for the rest of the game. Okay, they are... This is funny. They are exiling my Orc army and then drawing a card which gives the Orc army right back. So it's actually... Yeah, it is better to target that. Because they take one either way, and at least it's not a 2-2. So that does save some damage. Ooh, where's this tower? That's worth 3 mana here. Ugh, I hate that guy. I do have my Fatal Push, though, but that is one of their ways out of a Null Rod, this Glaring Fleshraker. Now I hope I draw a Fetchland or a Wasteland. I mean, Wasteland is the nuts, but Fetchland does it too. As long as I can kill this Fleshraker this turn, I'm feeling okay. All right, Voltaic Key, sacking a spawn to get that. 1 card left in their hand. Come on, deck. Brazen Borrower. It's not quite what I wanted. I can brainstorm looking for a fetch land, or... Yeah, I think that sounds good. I could just attack and see if they block and fall for it. They have not fallen for it yet. I still believe in this Force of Will someday. I could Petty Theft, Glaring Fleshraker, push damage this turn, force them to redeploy that if they want to keep doing stuff next turn. I kind of want to Ponder, though. Okay, I think Consigned to Memory goes, and this other Nethergoyf goes. And Ponder. Fetch land, yes. Alright. Don't shuffle. Fetch, Fatal Push. I have greedily held on to Force Blue card with the hopes of untapping with 3 mana when I'm not massively behind at some point. Any chump blocks they make are also Stone Rains at this point. 1 card in hand, most of their deck doesn't work. Alright, they're taking just the full chumpies. Versus Workshop, that's worth 3 mana. They have a lot of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they jam Ugin here, I'm quitting Magic. Alright. 1 ring buys them a turn of protection, but now we're good. Tamiyo, sick. I can add Tamiyo to the board. Her clues don't work because of my own Null Rod. But I got Brainstorm in my deck. Things could happen. Alright, chaining together 1 rings. This is not worth my Force of Will. This is just Fog. It's fine. Bloodstained Mire. I think I should play that out, as that turns on a Consigned to Memory with Kicker through Defense Grid. 1 more mana I can flash and Brazen Borrower in their end step. Schmirktide. Alright, well, that makes them pretty dead. How much damage do I need? If I eat all of the instants and sorceries, it's worth twice as much damage in my Murktide than it is worth in my Nethergoyf for that, because I had 2 of each, which only count once for Nethergoyf, but count twice for Murktide. I think they're dead. That's fine. Have fun with that. It's probably fine, relatively safe and reasonable to force that and push the lethal damage. But I also don't think I'm losing if I don't do that. Another Nethergoyf. What could I possibly lose to? I mean, Ugin has a cast trigger. All his dust won't resolve. I don't even know if these decks play that. You got the 4th 1 ring to complete the cycle. Nice. All right, 4-0. We got a trophy match coming. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in the final trophy round. I'm going to keep my hand. Good versus fair decks has Brainstorm to move cards around against unfair decks. Delta pass. I'm leading on Delta here in case they turn 1 Blood Moon. I can get my island. But if they don't turn one Blood Moon, my plan is to fetch Undercity Sewers, in which case I would rather have Bloodstained Mire still in my hand. Thoughtseize, huh? Alright, well, I should brainstorm. Bayou Thoughtseize. So this could be Turbo Depths or some kind of storm. B-Storm. Alright, I'm gonna put back Ponder and Thoughtseize because I want the Ponder, and I mostly don't care if they take any of the cards in my hand right now. And my plan is to Wasteland plus Thoughtseize next turn, and then draw Ponder and figure out the rest of my life the turn after that. Alright, what are you working with over there? This isn't an island, so I don't have to Wasteland first. Oh my god. Another Bear Grist deck? How many of these could there possibly be in the universe? Alright. I guess I'm taking one of the Grists. I don't think this Mox Diamond's really going to come in. Alright, I'll take a Grist. And I am going to Wasteland them so they can't play the other Grist. If they want to waste me back, we can play that game together. They might value the mana from Mox Diamond over Wastelanding me here, because they did see my hand has multiple lands in it. If they fetch Basic Forest, Mox Diamond discarding Wasteland, then they're on the way to Grist, which is a card I'm worried about. Okay, that did not happen. Just fired it right off. This is probably a Loam deck, which is awesome, but really scary because I can't fetch Basic Island with Bloodstained Mire. Underground Sea, Ponder. Okay. Bunch of cards. Do I want Orcish Bowmaster over Tamiyo and Brazen Borrower? I will take these cards in the order they are presented to me. Bowmaster is about the best I could do versus Grist. Like, kill the first bug, attack Grist for 2, and then kind of tread water through it for a while. I could even use Fatal Push to push damage onto the Grist. There's the Catacombs. I guess I want Tamiyo in the mix here. Start threatening something, or else they will have all the time in the world to figure out how to lock me out with Grist. Ooh, they're just parked. Either don't have a basic to fetch, or they're afraid to fetch it because then they'll be color screwed, and they don't appear to have the land to go with the Mox. It's all coming up to plan. And now they're in the position where if they don't do anything, I get to crack a clue every turn. Alright, we're getting some movement. Basic Swamp. Nile Spellbomb. You're in there. I think I'd rather draw a card than have Bowmaster in play right now. Ooh, big Murktide. You don't say. Attack with Tamiyo. And I'm going to fetch with this Delta and see if they bomb in response. They did not, which means Murktide's coming down. Boom. Alright, now I'm doing something huge. We got a wolf in the chat. Yeah, awkward stuff having the Spell Bomb just floating there. And now Grist is going to be too slow. Grist's minus ability is -2, so that's the cost. And then the ability is you may sacrifice a creature, and then when you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. I can let Grist resolve. They plus it, pass the turn, then it's my turn. Then when we go back into their turn, they minus Grist, I kill their bug in response with Bowmaster, and then Grist's ability fizzles. Haywire Might, Thoughtseize, Life from the Loam, Wasteland, off of Malevolent Rumble. Life from the Loam confirmed. Their deck looks awesome. They took the Wasteland. Probably gonna feed that to Mox Diamond would be my guess. Alright. Or not. I have so many freaking Fatal Pushes. Okay, I'm gonna attack here. And I'm actually gonna Fatal Push. Alright, no, I can trick them into Gristing. No, I'm gonna pass. It's the same thing I just said, except with an Eldrazi spawn instead of a bug. Are they going to dredge Loam? Do they think they have time? No to both. There's Wasteland. We know Grist can be cast here. Mox Diamond. All right. Found the land to go with it. Tons of Wastelands. That's 3 of them. One thing that I'm trying to navigate here is that if I use Orcish Bowmaster on an Eldrazi spawn, I don't get an Orc army, so I lose damage if they float the mana. So here it is. Walked them into the Grist. They floated a colorless. There's nothing to sacrifice to the Grist now, which means the ability poops off. Now Bowmaster can kill Grist, and I'm pushing a ton of damage. They can get me into a pretty scary Life from the Loam position here, but I think I'm over the hump where I need to be worried about that. Okay, cool. Thoughtseize gave me all the information to navigate that game. What a dope card. Okay, Jund Loam again. Or did I see 3 colors that game? At least Golgari Loam. Weird to play against decks like this twice in a league when it's not really part of the meta at all, but I mean, cool. I'm glad people are out here trying stuff. Okay, Barrowgoyf, Harbinger of the Seas both seem pretty nice. Sheoldred's Edict is more answers to Grist, a card that I fear massively. I don't think I want more graveyard hate. I have the Nile Spellbombs in already. Daze seems kind of bad versus a Mox Diamond deck. Force of Will, I can play fewer of those. Fatal Push, did they even have targets for that? Barely. This deck might have Dothy Voidwalkers or Bowmasters or something in it. It would be weird if it had no creatures at all. I'm going to back off of some of this conditionally reactive stuff and bring in a bunch of bangers. This is my plan. Ugh. I don't think I can keep this. Mulligan, this handful of beautiful cards. Okay, I'll keep this handful of comparably beautiful cards. I think I'm going to bottom... It's either Kaito or a land. It could be Harbinger, actually. Are they actually a lands deck or just a deck with lots of lands? Alright, it's going to be Harbinger. I mean, I wish this was 7 so I could keep it, but I actually have faith in Kaito more than that card right now. And I don't want to get cute with my land count versus a known recursive wasteland strategy. Thoughtseize. Good chance this takes the Nile Spellbomb, because Loam is their engine. Though it might take Ponder if they just don't have a Loam and don't need it for where they're going. I'd be surprised if it takes Kaito. Yep, Ponder it is. Force of Will. That's now in my holster. On 4 cards, if they just jam a Dothy Voidwalker or something here, I am going to force it. Malevolent Rumble. That doesn't quite clear my bar. Strategic Betrayal. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. Oh, that's sweet. Never seen that card in life. Orcish Bowmasters in the hand. Life from the Loam successfully milled over. I'm probably just going to bomb them here. Oh, sick. My own Bowmaster. I love that card. When I have it. Not when my opponent has it. Okay. I am going to bomb them, draw the card before they can punish me. This takes the Loam out with it. Nethergoyf. Well, that worked out great. Alright, here's this guy. 3/4. Force backup, Bowmaster for their Bowmaster. About to be 3 unknown cards in their hand. Cabal Pit just reverted all the way back, not close to threshold. And they've tapped this every turn of the game so far. That damage is going to add up. Verdant Catacombs. And they've seen the Kaito, so they know this Nethergoyf represents more than just a 3/4. Alright, they tap mana, untap the mana, thought about it, and ended up passing the turn. Oh, here's that boy. I'm going to attack with Nethergoyf first. I've shown the 3 mana for Kaito. We'll see if they just jump their Bowmaster out, block with the Orc Army. Or do nothing of the sort. That's fine too. Alright, I'm jamming Harbinger of the Seas. It's pretty good here. I can still do everything my hand does. But they're going to have to pick green or black here to continue playing with. Edict in response. Nethergoyf's gone, that's fine. We'll probably see the Swamp here because we know they have a black card in hand. And Harbinger is down. No green mana, and any tech lands like Wasteland, Cabal Pit, that sort of thing is off. My Harbinger can't attack, though, because Bowmaster will kill it. And I'm not willing to use Force of Will on that. Oh! Too easy. Here's that boy. Sideboard cards just rolling off the top of the deck now. If they ever commit this Bowmaster, it's just dead for free from my Bowmaster. They did nothing on their turn, nothing at all. I'm going to attack with Barrowgoyf. Yeah, blocking with the Spawn, good call. Will they use Spawn mana to cast Bowmaster? They will. Alright. I take 1 right to my smelly face, and then I Bowmaster you back. If they have another one, I probably still am not going to force it. But if they don't have another one, they're cooked. 4 mana, 1 of it's black, none of it's green. Okay, I'm going to attack with everything except Bowmaster here. I'm happy to turn my Orc Army into Kaito. Brutal. I'm going to Surveil too. If they have Bowmaster, I'll force it. Okay, another force, another Bowmaster. Top. And add Tamiyo to the board. Okay, I think we've trophied this league. It would be weird if we don't. Ooh, another Swamp. Smallpox, let's go! Suddenly, the secret juice revealed. I'm ashamed of myself for not recognizing this was Smallpox earlier. Do I even care if this Pox resolves? Alright, they're not even... I was just thinking about it and they conceded. Okay, play a real deck, get a trophy immediately. Imagine that. Weird how that works. I had to navigate some off-meta stuff here, and then also just beat up on some expected meta stuff. Thoughtseize, Nile Spellbomb, Daze, Force of Will, Wasteland. Hell of a shell. Then you do basically anything within that shell to apply pressure, and that's a recipe for success. I didn't not enjoy myself here. Reanimator, every time I play it, I just don't have fun at all. Whether I'm winning or losing, it just feels like a soul-sucking experience. But this did not feel like that. I really actually enjoy the tempo mini games and how to find use out of Daze and how to sequence your cantrips, all this stuff. This is what I like about Legacy. I have this in my holster as an option for upcoming tournaments. I hope to play the Is It one, have time to test that one as well. I think I'll like this one more, but I really like the card Lightning Bolt in general. But anyway, yeah, here's that. A smooth little trophy with one of the top decks in the format. Sweaty Legacy Day was a success. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, where I will post my list to all these upcoming tournaments I'm mentioning, including the upcoming Eternal Weekends later this year. Those are in my Patreon. Join that. Come hang out. I'll see you next time.